Sometimes, the ones we love the most are the ones we hurt the deepest. A middle-aged woman, Eleanor, sits on the couch, staring at the termination letter in her trembling hands. Her son, Ryan, a 25-year-old ambitious businessman, enters the room, his face cold and unreadable. Ryan, sharp tone. Mom, what is this? You lost your job. Eleanor, hesitant, forcing a weak smile. It's just a temporary setback, Ryan. I'll find something soon. Ryan, raising his voice. Temporary? You've been paying the bills ever since Dad passed away. And now what? You expect me to carry the burden? Eleanor, eyes welling up with tears, gently. Ryan, I never saw it as a burden. You are my son. I've always wanted to give you the best. Ryan scoffs, walking towards the window, staring at the city lights. Ryan, coldly. Well, I can't afford to take care of you. I've been working hard to build my own life. I can't have a jobless woman dragging me down. Eleanor, voice trembling. Jobless woman? Ryan, I'm your mother. Ryan, cutting her off, voice full of finality. You need to leave. Tonight. Tears stream down Eleanor's face as she looks at the son she raised with love, now treating her like a stranger. She stands up, slowly nodding, accepting the painful truth. Eleanor, softly, with motherly warmth despite the pain. All right, my son. If that's what you want, I won't stop you. She walks to her room, packing a small bag. She takes one last look at the family photo beside her bed before stepping out into the stormy night, her heart breaking but her love for Ryan unwavering. As Eleanor disappears into the rain, a black car pulls up near the house. The driver, dressed in a crisp black suit, steps out, watching Eleanor leave. Driver, whispering to himself. She still won't tell him the truth. Not yet. Eleanor walks through the rain, her thin coat barely shielding her from the cold. She clutches her small bag, shivering, but her face remains calm, resigned, yet full of hidden strength. Narrator, soft, melancholic tone. A mother's love never fades, even when her own child turns her away. But fate always has its own plans. She stops near an old park bench, sinking onto it. The streetlights flicker as the rain pours harder. Her hands tremble, but she closes her eyes, holding back her tears. Eleanor, whispering to herself. You'll understand one day, Ryan. And I'll still love you, no matter what. A car slowly drives past, the same black luxury car from before. Inside, the driver watches Eleanor with concern, his fingers tightening around the steering wheel. Back at the house, Ryan pours himself a drink, staring out the window. Thunder rumbles, but his face remains emotionless. Or at least, that's what he tells himself. Ryan, muttering to himself. She had no right to depend on me. I have my own life to live. But deep inside, something stings, a strange emptiness. He shakes it off, grabbing his phone. A message notification pops up. Text from his best friend, Jake. Dude, did you hear? The billionaire widow, Eleanor Hayes, just stepped down from her private investments. Crazy, right? Wonder what she's up to now. Ryan frowns, reading the name again. Ryan, murmuring, confused. Eleanor Hayes. Wait, that's Mom's full name. His heart skips a beat, but he quickly dismisses the thought. No way. His mother was just an ordinary woman. Right. The black luxury car parked near an old motel. The driver, a man in his late 40s, gets out and knocks on a door. Eleanor opens it, her face calm, but her eyes filled with unspoken sadness. Driver, serious tone. Ma'am, it's time to tell him. He has no idea who you really are. Eleanor sighs, looking down at her worn-out shoes. Eleanor, softly. Not yet, Arthur. Not yet. Ryan lies in bed, staring at the ceiling. His mind replays his last conversation with his mother. The way she looked at him before leaving, the sadness in her eyes. It was unsettling. He turns to his phone and rereads Jake's message about Eleanor Hayes stepping down from private investments. Ryan, muttering to himself. Why did that name feel so familiar? Curious, he opens his laptop and types, Eleanor Hayes net worth. His eyes widen as search results load. Eleanor Hayes, the billionaire widow who disappeared. Hayes Enterprises' silent owner steps down. Ryan, stunned, whispering, "No, this can't be." He clicks on an article featuring an old picture of his mother in a sleek business suit, shaking hands with top CEOs. The caption reads, Eleanor Hayes, the silent force behind multiple successful businesses. Ryan's hands tremble on the mousepad. Ryan, breathless. Mom, was a billionaire? His heart pounds. Memories flood his mind, his mother working late nights, always telling him she was just handling business. He never questioned it. He just assumed she had an ordinary job. He quickly grabs his phone and dials her number. It rings and rings, then goes to voicemail. Ryan, frustrated, whispering to himself, "Where are you, Mom?" Eleanor sitting at a small cafe, sipping tea. Across from her sits Arthur, her longtime driver and loyal friend. Arthur, concerned. "Ma'am, are you sure about this? Living like this when you have everything." Eleanor, smiling sadly. "Money never mattered to me, Arthur. My son did. And he didn't want me in his life." Asterisk pauses, sighs. Asterisk, so, I'll respect that. Arthur watches her, hesitant. Arthur. But what if he finds out the truth? Eleanor stirs her tea, a knowing look in her eyes. Eleanor, softly. Then we'll see if his love was ever real. Ryan stands near his window, gripping his phone tightly. The unanswered call plays over in his head, her silence louder than any words. Ryan, frustrated, whispering, "She ignored my call." He paces back and forth, his mind racing. The realization of his mistake crashes over him. He threw his own mother out, thinking she was helpless, while she was actually a billionaire. But why had she hidden it from him all these years? Determined, he grabs his car keys and heads out. Ryan visits the places his mother used to go, her favorite grocery store, the library, the small park she loved. But no sign of her. Finally, he goes to an old family friend, Mrs. Lawson, their former neighbor. Mrs. Lawson, shaking her head, sighing. "Ryan, your mother loved you more than anything. If she left, it wasn't because she wanted to, it was because you pushed her away." Ryan, guilt-ridden, voice low. "I know, but I need to find her. Please, do you know where she is?" Mrs. Lawson hesitates before speaking. Mrs. Lawson. She always talked about a small motel outside town. Said it was her escape when she needed to think. Maybe she's there. Ryan doesn't waste another second. He rushes out, heart pounding. Cut to Eleanor at the motel, sitting by the window. She watches the rain fall, her heart heavy with love and pain. Suddenly, headlights flash outside. A car pulls up. She recognizes it instantly. Eleanor, softly. "Ryan." Ryan steps out of the car, breathing heavily from the drive. He looks up at the motel door, hesitant. Then he takes a deep breath and knocks. Ryan, voice breaking. "Mom, please. I need to talk." Eleanor stands behind the door, her hand hovering over the doorknob, tears brimming in her eyes. Will she open it? Or is it too late? Eleanor stands frozen behind the motel door, her fingers barely touching the knob. On the other side, Ryan waits, his heart racing. Ryan, pleading, voice shaky. "Mom, please, I know I was wrong. Just let me talk to you." Eleanor closes her eyes, a tear slipping down her cheek. The pain of his rejection still lingers, but the love she holds for him is stronger. Slowly, she turns the knob and opens the door. Ryan stands there, his face full of regret. He looks at her, her tired eyes, the sadness behind them, and guilt stabs at his chest. Eleanor, softly. Why are you here, Ryan? Ryan steps inside hesitantly, glancing around the small motel room. It's nothing like the luxurious home she once lived in. The thought of her staying here because of him makes his throat tighten. Ryan, quietly. I know the truth, Mom. About who you really are. About the fortune you never told me about. Eleanor exhales slowly, walking to the window. Eleanor. And why does it matter now? Asterisk, pauses, then looks at him. Asterisk, you didn't want a jobless mother. But would you have treated me differently if you knew I was a billionaire? Ryan flinches at her words. He knows she's right. His pride had blinded him. Ryan, softly, ashamed. I don't care about the money, Mom. I just want you back. Eleanor studies her son, the boy she raised, the boy who pushed her away. But she sees something different now. He's no longer the arrogant man who threw her out. He's broken. Regretful. Tears fill Ryan's eyes as he takes a shaky breath. Ryan. I was selfish. I hurt you. And I don't deserve your forgiveness. But I swear if you give me one more chance, I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. Eleanor walks up to him, gently cupping his face in her hands like she used to when he was a child. Eleanor, softly, tearfully smiling. Oh, Ryan. A mother's love never fades. Even when her heart breaks. Ryan lets out a broken sob, and for the first time in years, he falls into his mother's arms, crying like the little boy he once was. Ryan and Eleanor sit across from each other in the small motel room. The air between them is heavy with emotions, pain, regret, but also an unspoken longing for reconciliation. Ryan, softly. Why didn't you ever tell me, Mom? About the fortune, about who you really are. Eleanor sighs, looking down at her hands before meeting his gaze. Eleanor. Because I wanted you to grow up valuing love over wealth. I wanted you to be kind, humble, to understand that money isn't what makes a person rich. Ryan looks away, ashamed. He realizes now how far he had strayed from that lesson. Ryan, voice cracking. And yet, I failed you. Eleanor, gently smiling through tears. You made a mistake, my son. But mistakes don't define who we are. What we do after them does. Ryan clenches his fists, his mind racing. His mother had always been there, through every hardship, every failure, every success. And yet, the moment she needed him, he abandoned her. Ryan. Come home with me, Mom. Let me take care of you the way you always took care of me. Eleanor studies him for a long moment, her heart full. But she shakes her head. Eleanor. Not yet, Ryan. Ryan's face falls. Ryan, desperate. Why? I swear, I'll never. Eleanor, cutting him off, gently. Because I need to know if you've truly changed, or if this is just guilt talking. Ryan swallows hard. He understands what she means. If she came back now, would he still respect her? Or would he fall back into his selfish ways? Eleanor reaches into her bag and pulls out an old key. She places it on the table between them. Eleanor. Go back to the house. In my study, there's a small safe behind my bookshelf. Open it. Inside, you'll find something that will help you understand why I lived the way I did. Ryan looks at the key, then back at her. Ryan. What's inside? Eleanor, smiling mysteriously. The truth. Ryan stares at her, then nods. He takes the key, standing up. Ryan. I'll prove to you that I've changed, Mom. No matter what it takes. Eleanor watches him go, her heart full of hope and fear. Ryan stands in front of his mother's old study, the key clutched tightly in his hand. His heart pounds as he steps inside, memories flooding back, the way she used to sit at her desk, lost in thought, always telling him that some things are more valuable than money. He never understood what she meant. Not until now. He moves toward the bookshelf, running his fingers over the worn wood, then reaches behind it, feeling for the hidden safe. His fingers find the cold metal, and with a deep breath, he inserts the key. The safe clicks open. Inside, there are no stacks of money, no gold, no expensive jewelry. Just a small wooden box and a folder. Ryan frowns, lifting the box first. He opens it, and his breath catches. Inside are old photographs. Pictures of Eleanor as a young woman, standing in front of a tiny, run-down apartment. A boy clings to her leg. Ryan. Her face is tired, but her eyes shine with determination. He flips through more photos, his mother working multiple jobs, sleeping in a chair with little Ryan curled up on her lap, wearing tattered clothes. A picture of her handing over a check to a stranger, smiling despite having nothing herself. Ryan, whispering, voice breaking. Mom. His hands shake as he opens the folder. Inside are letters addressed to him but never sent. He picks up one and begins to read. My dear Ryan, if you ever read this, it means you are finally ready to know the truth. You always saw me as your mother, but before that, I was a poor, struggling woman with nothing but a dream, to give you a life better than mine. Every dollar I earned, I saved for you. Every sacrifice I made was for you. And when I finally built my fortune, I hid it. Because I wanted you to grow up without its burden. I wanted you to learn kindness before wealth, love before greed. Ryan's eyes well up as he flips through the letters, each one filled with a mother's silent suffering, her sacrifices, her undying love. Ryan stares at the letters, his heart shattering. He thought she was just a simple woman, dependent on him. But she had been strong, independent, and selfless beyond imagination. He closes his eyes, gripping the letters to his chest. He had been so blind. Suddenly, his phone rings. He glances at the screen. It's Eleanor. He quickly wipes his tears and answers. Eleanor, softly. Did you find it? Ryan, voice trembling. Mom. I don't deserve you. I don't deserve your love, after everything I've done. Eleanor. But you're my son, Ryan. And a mother's love is not something you earn. It's something you always have. Ryan covers his mouth to stop a sob. He's never felt more ashamed, yet more loved, than in this moment. Ryan, determined. Mom, I swear. I will spend the rest of my life making up for what I did. Please. Let me come get you. Let's go home. Eleanor's voice is filled with emotion when she finally speaks. Eleanor. Come get me, my son. Ryan drives through the night, his hands gripping the steering wheel. His heart pounds, a mix of nerves and urgency flooding through him. He is on his way to the motel, to his mother, to the only person who ever truly loved him, despite everything. As he speeds down the empty road, his mind replays the painful moments, the way he dismissed her struggles, how he let his pride blind him, how he threw her out like she was nothing. He grits his teeth, gripping the wheel tighter. Ryan, whispering to himself. Never again. I will never let her feel unwanted again. The neon motel vacancy sign comes into view. He pulls up, slamming the car into park, and rushes inside. Ryan knocks on the door with urgency. Ryan. Mom. It's me. Please, open the door. The door creaks open, revealing Eleanor. She looks at him, her eyes filled with warmth but also caution. Ryan's heart clenches. Ryan, voice breaking. I read everything, Mom. The letters, the pictures. I saw the truth. And I hated myself for ever making you feel unworthy. You sacrificed everything for me, and I repaid you with cruelty. Eleanor studies him, then steps aside, allowing him in. Ryan enters, but this time, he doesn't see a woman who has lost everything. He sees the strongest woman he's ever known. Eleanor, softly. What do you want now, Ryan? Ryan, without hesitation. I want my mother back. Not because I need someone to take care of me, but because I need to take care of you now. Eleanor's lips press together, a small smile forming. She walks to the small table, where a packed suitcase sits. Ryan looks at it, then back at her. Eleanor, I was waiting to see if you truly meant it. If you'd come back not just out of guilt, but out of love. Ryan, firmly. Mom, I swear. I'll spend the rest of my life proving that I do. Eleanor reaches for her suitcase, but Ryan gently takes it from her hands. Ryan, softly. Let me carry this for you. The way you carried me all my life. Tears well up in Eleanor's eyes. She nods, and for the first time in a long time, she lets her son take care of her. As they walk out together, Ryan feels something he hasn't in years. Peace. He may not be able to erase the past, but he will make damn sure their future is different. Ryan pulls up to their grand house, the mansion he once ruled with pride but now sees through new eyes. It no longer feels like just a house. It's a place that once held love, a love he took for granted. He steps out of the car and rushes to Eleanor's side, opening the door for her. She steps out hesitantly, her eyes scanning the familiar place she was once thrown out of. Eleanor, softly. I never thought I'd walk through these doors again. Ryan, determined. This time, Mom. You're walking in with honor. The way you always should have. He takes her suitcase, and they step inside together. The house is silent, almost eerily so, as if even the walls remember the pain that once echoed here. Ryan leads Eleanor to the grand living room, but something is different. The space has been transformed. Gone are the cold, materialistic decorations. Instead, family pictures line the walls, photos of Eleanor and Ryan from his childhood, moments of laughter and love that he once ignored. Eleanor, eyes widening, touched. Ryan, what is this? Ryan, I wanted this house to feel like home again. Like the home you built, not the one I destroyed. Eleanor walks slowly, her fingers tracing the frames, tears glistening in her eyes. Ryan watches, nervous yet hopeful. Ryan, softly. I know I can't erase what I did, Mom. But I can start again. I want you to live here, not as a guest, but as the queen of this house, the way you always were. Eleanor turns, looking at her son with deep emotion. For years, she had loved him despite his flaws. And now, for the first time, she sees him truly changing. Eleanor, smiling through tears. Oh, Ryan. My love for you never left. I only wanted you to find your heart again. Ryan steps forward, dropping to his knees before her, his eyes filled with regret and devotion. Ryan, choking up. And I have, Mom. Because of you. Because you never gave up on me, even when I didn't deserve it. Eleanor cups his face, her heart full. She pulls him into a tight embrace, and for the first time in years, Ryan feels whole. The camera pans to a framed letter sitting on the fireplace. It's one of Eleanor's letters to Ryan, now displayed with honor. The words are clear and powerful. A mother's love is unconditional. Even when the world turns its back on you, a mother never will. As the scene fades, Ryan and Eleanor stand together, a mother and son finally reunited, stronger than ever. A week has passed since Eleanor returned home. The house, once cold and distant, is now alive with warmth. Ryan has changed, truly changed. He wakes up early to have breakfast with Eleanor, something he hadn't done in years. He listens when she speaks, values her wisdom, and most of all, respects her in a way he never did before. One morning, Eleanor stands by the window, watching the sun rise over their vast estate. Ryan walks up beside her, holding 2 cups of coffee. Ryan, handing her a cup, softly. Mom, can I ask you something? Eleanor, smiling, taking the cup. Of course, my son. Ryan. Do you really forgive me? I mean, truly. Eleanor turns to face him, studying the face of the boy she raised, now a man who has finally understood the depth of her love. Eleanor, forgiveness isn't about forgetting, Ryan. It's about healing. And my heart, it has healed. Ryan exhales, relief washing over him. But he isn't done yet. Later that evening, Eleanor finds an envelope on her bed. She opens it and gasps. Inside are legal documents, transferring ownership of the mansion and Ryan's company shares to her. Ryan steps into the room, watching her reaction. Eleanor, shocked. Ryan, what is this? Ryan, softly. It's my way of proving that I've changed. Everything you built, everything you sacrificed for, I want you to have control over it. You deserve it more than I ever did. Eleanor's hands tremble as she looks at the papers, then at Ryan. Her heart swells with pride and love. Eleanor. Oh, my son. I don't need power or wealth. I only ever wanted your heart. And now I have it. She places the documents aside and pulls Ryan into a deep embrace. Tears slip down both their faces, but this time they are tears of joy. Final scene. A love that never fades. Months later, Eleanor and Ryan are seen sitting in the garden, laughing over old memories. Ryan no longer sees her as a burden, but as his greatest blessing. And Eleanor? She finally rests, knowing she has raised a son worthy of the love she always gave him. The screen fades to black, with Eleanor's final words echoing softly. A mother's love is eternal. It never fades, never weakens, and never gives up.